Well, my stay in Pennsylvania has run out for this week, for now. Anyway, I'm not. Well, no, it is because I'm not staying on Friday. I'm going home. Rough day yesterday. I'm watching the races and I'm saying to myself, who turned off all the luck? You know, we've been having a pretty good run. Brilliant Corners race good. I think we all know with that big hood on, and I'm sure they still have earplugs underneath it. Being alone on the front end halfway down the lane probably wasn't suited best for him, but Sylvain wasn't going to sit behind two long shots. I really thought Jody would move the Mustang horse to the front, especially off those fractions. We'd sit behind him. 1-2. It ended up that Sylvain was alone in the front. Jody's horse wasn't that good, and that horse that I really thought was a lunatic come flying late pro line. I guess that's why they paid all the money for him. He looked good, and then we just got picked off. You know, it's so hard. Think of it this way. It's like on the end of a marathon when somebody says, oh, you just had to go a little bit further. When they're tired, they can't turn back on, and Brilliant Corners kind of maybe took it for granted halfway down the lane that he was home and cooled out, and then pro line blew by him, and it's too late at that point to come back on. Momentum alone cost him second, but he raced well. You know, I had a message from somebody saying, oh, Mario should have been more aggressive with first glance. You know, he's got no luck. I'm going to tell you something. When you got a horse that can pace in 54, and with horses that can pace in 52, it's going to be hard to find luck. In abundance, anyway. You know, first glance, a nice colt. You know, he's paced 54 right now. He'll probably be a 53 pacer at 3. You know, I'd rather Mario didn't leave with him. For the sake of what? Finding out he can't pace in 52? He can't. So to leave with him out of the 7-hole to get him chewed up, you know, I'd rather at least have him 27 and 4 on the end of it. A mile and 54 is a good mile for that colt. That will lead to good things. Beef and Cheddar was an abomination last night. I don't know what went on. You know, obviously James sent me a nasty message afterwards. I don't blame him. Kid's got a broken collarbone. This thing here cleans 2 people out and dumps them on his pumpkin last night. Beef and Cheddar has always steered poorly. But last night was, you know, for a horse that was coming in off such a good mile, where'd that come from? So I made an vet appointment for him tomorrow. I wanted to get Perfect Record looked at anyway. He's never been to the vet. So a little hikey in the last turn. He made a break the other night in the maiden. Wanted to get him looked at. So we will. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Beef and Cheddar and Perfect Record go to get looked at. Now I had told the lady that the girl, Nellie's a great groom. A great caretaker of the horses, and I had told her, you know, after the horses race, if they race bad, hope they never do, but if they do, first thing you got to do is scope them, because I need to be able to talk to you, our clients, my partners on Beef and Cheddar, and say, hey, I don't know what happened last night. He wasn't steering great. He didn't look good, but he scoped X. No mucus, no blood, no redness. I can't say that today, because he wasn't scoped last night. So I had asked Melissa, Dr. McKee is going to see the colt in the morning. I'd asked her to take a look at Beef and Cheddar physically, see what you think. You seem fine today, they said. And then a little more internally, take a look at that throat and see what you think. Now, if there was any acute redness, sickness, it may not show up on a scope 2 days later, so I believe Harry's probably going to jog him in the morning and then have a little better idea. We'll have a little better idea of where he fits, what's going on with him. But yeah, just an absolute horrible mile, man. Oh man, when he puts that rubber mouth of his on, it is something else. Not a good sight, and then Adrenaline Rush. I mean, my 2 cents, 26 and 2, probably put the nail in his coffin when they're going to follow it up and keep going and going and going. You know, Adrenaline Rush can only do so much. He's a nice colt. He's a bit of an opportunist, though. I don't think, by that I mean, he likes to see the quarters come up in 26 from the bleachers and hunt. Being the one putting that number up might not be best for him. So, I think that might have been what happened. It's just the way the race went, but that's that. And then Cruising in Style, I mean, I'll be completely honest. I saw the 9-hole. I forgot he was racing. I watched the race afterwards. I was talking to Mo, one of my partners on Cruising in Style, and Mo had said he took him back into the 9-hole. As soon as I heard it took him back, I could tell you how that was going to end. Cruising in Style will never race good when you take him back, but you can't leave with him either every week either. You know, you get the 9-hole, sometimes you got to take your punches, and that's the way it is with him. You know, I don't know how fast they went, but it's a good class, and you know, cruising in style will be much more effective leaving out of the 4, 5, 6 spot, landing down 2, 3, or on the front, and racing in that manner, taking them back. And it's not to say you have to leave them every week, but I can assure you, when you land 9th with an honest pace in front of you, you're probably going to finish 9th. I'm just leaving the meadows now. Braemar has landed. I don't know if Shelby, the caretaker of Braemar, is watching. I'll send her a note. But he looks great. He's taller now than I remember him. Still a little underweight, but they had to work very, very hard to put weight back on him. He looks as good as he ever has right now, maybe a little better. I said to Tim, make sure he does not come off his feed. If he's not eating what you're feeding, get him different feed, or get the kind he has in Canada, but make sure he eats more than any other horse in this barn. You know, but Shelby's done a great job. Man, oh man, Johnny and Shelby and Harry and everybody that has that horse just done a great job with him. Very excited to race him now. I see they put a horse that went in 53 last week somehow in the maiden and turned it into an Almers 2. So I guess we got the hometown shuffle on Friday. But you know, as I said to Tim, Braemar, you know, he doesn't respond when you pick at him. He'll respond on Friday. If I get away in behind that 53 pacer, you better throw another 53 mile at us. Because if I get away in behind him and Braemar is chewing on his helmet like he was a couple of times when James drove him, when we move him over, maybe when I ask him, he'll come forward. I think. So Braemar might be very good on Friday. I don't know. We'll see. He's coming off a qualifier. Johnny trained him up Saturday, said he's ready to go, said he trained good. He's coming in sharp. My God, he's big. He looks like a 3-year-old right now. White Tiger also arrived. Now, there was a bit of a problem. The class he was in, he didn't actually fit. And I didn't want him missing a week, so we actually pushed back the trailer ride over here. I entered him at Mohawk, thinking, well, if we're not going to get into the Meadows, let's race him at Mohawk and then we'll take him. Even if we got to take Braemar by himself and then take White Tiger first of the week, fine. Entered him at Mohawk, didn't get in. They carried the class over. So we entered him here. Race secretary got him in the race here. Now, sadly, he's in with Tim's other horse, the one I won with. Sadly for Tim, not so sadly for us. I think White Tiger might be able to beat him, but I don't know. We'll see. Tiger looks great, so Amy always has him in great shape. And Harry, again, you know, I feel bad because, you know, Harry had tough luck last night. Million Corners was good, but anytime you're the driver or the trainer and you send a horse out that looks that abysmal, kind of knocks you down a peg and makes you feel like crap a little bit. I know James probably got a little scare right last night, and he was okay afterwards. So I know Harry's going to work things out with him, get the kinks in him, and he'll be ready to go his next start. He does got a rubber neck on him though. Wow. So got here today. I looked at the program. I thought we had 3 winners. Sebastian Yu, he trots, he's locked. He didn't trot, but he wasn't trotting great today either. You know, after his last start, he was full of mucus, but he was clean today. He just doesn't seem comfortable to me. When he run coming to the half, it's just him giving up. He didn't want to play today, and I don't know why. I'd asked Tim to get the blacksmith or get the vet to go over him tomorrow. There's such a thin line between Sebastian Yu winning this class and Sebastian Yu being on the list. Very thin line. And, you know, it's my fault. I should never have taken him out of this class to race him in the Stallion Series. I should have just kept jamming him right down their throats. And I didn't. That was my fault. So now we're working to try and get him back into that jamming him down their throats frame of mind. But he will. He'll come. And then I went out and raced horse for Tim, was 6th, and raced the 2 fillies. Now the 2 fillies, first filly I crossed over in front, and Dave Pallone made front, and I was happy to sit there, but Dave roars to come back around. Now I know if I heard him say it, Mike Wilder heard him also, and if I don't, Mike's coming. I moved her over and I took my time. You know, Tim said, gee, she just didn't snap around quick. Well, that was by design. You know, I was just backing them up as I was making front, especially when Dave Pallone says, come back around. He's certainly not going to take you. So we get up there 28-2. I just walked them in front of the stands, and Dave's letting me go. As he lets me go, 59-2 flashes up. Usually you'd say, it's over. It's a lock. Thinking to myself, geez, this filly doesn't get around the last turn that great. You guys saw her at the fair. It was a chore to keep her trotting. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to let her saunter down the backstretch. If I can hold her together in the last turn, well, it'll be tough to beat us. That horse beat me fair and square. We were smoking pretty good on the end of it. But I had said to Tim, we got to figure out what's going on with this filly. Looks like right hind, maybe a little bit up front. So I would say her knees, maybe block her feet to her knees, have that right stifle looked at. I would suspect that is what needs to happen with Spend That Money. We'll get her patched up. And once we get her good and on this surface on a full-time schedule, I think she'll do very good things over here. And then we look at Compass Rose DC. I'm saying to myself, if I'm inside of 6 lengths of the leader at this class, the head of the lane, I think I can get there. She doesn't leave that good. You got to watch her getting into the first turn. I got the 9 hole. She knows where I can assure you, although she's never been to the Meadows, she's been scouting the racetrack and she knows where every gate is. She's funny that way. She'll do her work, but she'll look for outs also. That's why if you watch me going in behind the gate, I'm following the 8. I want her attention on the brace and on the horse in front of her. If I let her look around, she's going to spot that gate. Spirit of Dio actually did it yesterday. If you watch me going in behind the gate, you see her jostle. She's looking at the gate. She's just being green and stupid, but that can lead to a break or a poor start. So I was going to follow the 8 out, and as soon as we come into the backstretch, let her trot up into position, look left and see what happens. Maybe there's a 4 hole, maybe there's a 5 hole. It never even occurred to me that she would blast out that good and there would be a 1 hole waiting for me. Crossed over to the front now. In fairness, Compass Rose DC is not that great on the front end. In the qualifier, and I think I kind of got a speed, to be honest. I think if I make her do her work from start to finish, she wins in 55. She wins in 55 today. What's this thing? Wow. She wins in 55 today, but because I backed her up the half also, she's not known for sprinting prowess in the third quarter. That horse got up, and I allowed him up into my grill, and we were trotting hard in the end of it. She raced good, but that's an E on me for that one. If I get her over the half 57-4, I bet you she wins in 55, and that class can't trot in 55. That's my fault. So, Spend That Money raced great. If you watch coming out of the turn, I looked like it was an easy third. She was beaten. She comes back on, fights off, and tries to catch up. Finished third and raced good doing it. Compass Rose DC, same thing. She didn't give it up. She was beat fair and square. They went 57 flat, 56-4 or something. But those horses are used to racing on the fairs the last little while, right? Except for that stake at Northfield where, Compass Rose DC never gets around Northfield great, but got around Northfield 55 that night, looked good. And then Spend That Money, who bopped around Northfield also 55 and a piece. Then went back to the fairs. Spend That Money went in 58 in Northfield, but again, made front, backed them up. Nobody pressured me to the head of the lane. I was able to let her, just kind of hike around that last turn and then turn of her own, cut her loose, gone, jogged. That wasn't the case today. Somebody had me cornered in the last turn and I couldn't give her head. Then Compass Rose DC went to the fairs. Fair racing's different. It's nice, it's easy, but at the same time, going in 2.5 racing for an 1/8 of a mile, a 1/4 of a mile, it's not what you're going to see here. It doesn't really prepare you for a race at the Meadows. So I think both those fillies are good. Truthfully speaking, a couple of seconds today will probably lead to a couple of easy wins next time out. So I guess almost a 2-for-1 for these fillies today. I think they're better than those horses. Compass Rose DC, I believe, if I get over the half faster and keep her attention, keep her in gear, I don't think that horse gets anywhere near me. I allowed him to get to me, and I allowed him to beat me. Spend That Money, last turn, little hikey, cost of the race. Again, following a helmet. If I stay on Dave's helmet, I don't know why he didn't want to race that horse on the front. If I stay on his helmet, again, I think I win. I think I win. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't beat either of them and I'm third. So there's no crying about it now. So those are 2 very good races today from the fillies. A little bit of a clunker for Sebastian Yu, but we've been down this road with him before. Just a little food for thought. Next time we get him back in gear and back on a proper schedule, we won't be deviating from that schedule for any reason. So, unfortunately, Sebastian Yu has to qualify next week, but get him qualified. We'll get him going back to that class, and then find a regular spot for him. Now, in other news, I spent last night making a couple of videos of Colts in the sale. Now, I was going to I can't send those videos out to all of our clients because I know who you are. Some of our clients are breeders, and I don't want to pull my pants down, so to speak. So, if you are out there and you want to know what we are doing this coming Friday, a week from Friday at the sale, drop me a line. I got 2 videos ready. One is a video of, now, caveat for these videos, I have not seen Midland Acres yet, and I need to go there. I'm going to try and get there next week. If I can get to Midland Acres, I'm going to look at, they have a ton of horses. So my top 15 list of the sale coming up, which includes good pedigrees, good horses that I looked at, combined with the potential of some value there, my top 15 list is available. What is also available is 15 horses I believe we have a real good shot to get. Now, we're not going to buy all 15. We might only buy a few of them, but we will buy some of them, probably from both lists. So 15 horses I think are worth looking at, that I would say are very nice prospects for the stable.ca for Ohio 2021. And 15 horses I think are very interesting prospects. Now, keep in mind, before you start saying, well, we're going to buy the best ones, My Jazz, 6,000. I'm a Lovely Lady, 14. Who's the other good one? Mama Knows Best, 4. So, you don't always have to buy the best ones, but buying better bred, better conformed horses is always probably going to get you a step ahead. But nevertheless, I have 2 videos ready. One's about 25 minutes long. The other one's about 18 minutes long. If you want to see those videos, I'm going to send those videos out to a number of our clients. If you want to see those videos, drop me a line, and I'll be happy to send them both to you. I'll make up a generic email tonight, just introducing the videos, what I see in them, where I think we can go from here. And furthermore, I only priced 1 horse out of the 30. And that was just to tell you what I thought that particular horse might bring. I do have price points on every horse on both lists. So, as of right now, we're getting closer. We're inside of nine days to the biggest sale for the stable.ca in 2020, which is the 2020 Ohio Select Sale. Big day for us. I put in a lot of homework and a lot of footwork and a lot of legwork into looking at these horses. As I said at the start, I have yet to see Midland Acres. There's probably a ton of horses we are interested in Midland Acres also. So even though I've given you 30 horses I am really, really interested in, there's probably a couple that maybe didn't make the list but are still on my radar, and actually quite a few more. There's a lot of consignments I haven't seen yet at all, and I won't see them till the sale. Now, Thursday afternoon is a busy day at the sale. I am going to have to qualify Sebastian Yu. Thank you, Sebastian. I have to come all the way to the Meadows, qualify Sebastian Yu in the morning, get in my car, and go directly to the sale. I will be at the sales pavilion Wednesday. No, I see what it is. Wednesday, hoping that. Oh, come on! What is this thing? I don't know what this is. You're gonna have to deal with it same as I will. Wednesday, I will be at the sales pavilion. That might do it. You know what? Yeah, whatever. Wednesday, I'll be there. And then Thursday afternoon, I will do some videos. Thursday, lots of videos for you guys. I'll get them done. I'll upload them as quickly as I can. Now, obviously, I'm going to need Wi-Fi to do that. I'll upload those videos as quickly as I can and get them all out to you guys. These are very important videos. These are what we're looking at for sure. What we're going to be after the next day. You're going to have to, again, message me for price points. Kelly is building the hub. And I guess the most important thing between now and the sale is the is the webcast that we're doing on Sunday. I'm going to be home. My wife's probably going to be upset. I get home for the weekend, and I'm going to do an hour-long webcast on Sunday night. So I'm sure she won't be happy with me about that, but it needs to be done. I need to be able to talk to our clients. Kelly has sent out repeated emails about this. She'll continue to over the next few days. If you have any questions, which you must have lots, if you have any questions, send them to me or send them to Kelly. Put them on when you email back to Kelly, put the questions in the form as you sign up for the webcast, and we will bring that to you Sunday, starting, I believe, at 7 o'clock. I will be answering all sorts of questions. I'm sure there'll be a question in there about why I drove the horses all summer, can't we use a real driver, something like that. What yearlings we're looking at, how we've mismanaged some horses. We'll probably scrap those questions, so if you're going to send them, don't bother. You can send them directly to me. I'll be happy to answer them for you. We're going to try and keep it upbeat. Want to answer questions about the yearlings, about the 2-year-olds, about the summer we've had, which has been a great summer. How we're going to continue to keep this going through the fall, what the fall's going to look like, what the winter's going to look like, how many babies we believe we're going to get, how we're going to procure them. How many of them are going to be, do I believe, will be sent privately? How many are we going to actually acquire at the sale? What types of price points are we looking at? What groups are being built? These are the types of things that I think we need to talk about. And you know why? Because, as I said in my previous videos the last 2 weeks, I need to know where everybody stands. I can't assume that we have 800 little safety nets behind me when I buy babies. It just can't happen that way this year. So, if you're interested in horses, if you're interested in the horses I have in these videos, if you're interested in the horses I talk about on the webcast, drop me a line, tell me if you are, I'll tell you my price point, and if you're still interested, let me know what type of interest you have. There's 2 or 3 horses that have upwards of 70% already spoken for that I have my eye on. So, that is it for the day. Racing, I would say, is below par for the summer over the last 2 days. Spirited Dio was fantastic. Spend that money, and Compass Rose DC raced well to be second. Sebastian Yu blew up and has to qualify. That happens. Beef and Cheddar was disgraceful. He'll rebound. Brilliant Corners was very, very good again. I think, looking at all the horses heading into the fall, I think it's unfair to diminish what Adrenaline Rush has done. I think Brilliant Corners might be our best 2-year-old so far. Adrenaline Rush is close behind him. First glance, just isn't a 52 pacer, I don't think, and won't be this year. So, need a little bit of easier racing for the big gray colt, and get everything back on track. Next week it's a Trotters. Tipsy and Dixie will be going. I don't know if War We Welcome will be going. I know she's back at the barn now, but unless I can see a fast training mile with a clean scope afterwards, I can't okay her to race. And I told Mario that I'm not really concerned with competing at a grassroots level with a filly that I know is much better because she has an irritated airway and just don't have any interest in it. We can jog her, we can train her, but if there's any hint of any issues in that airway, she's not racing. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think everybody understands why. She still has a number of races left in the fall, and I don't want to break her confidence going into, she's already had a tough summer. I don't want to diminish it at all. Heading into the fall, I want to get her back on track, get some confidence in her, and see what kind of filly she's going to be when the colder air sets in. Although it is 93 on my way from the Meadows to Northfield, it is much more chilly. Most certainly sweater weather from what I've been hearing in Ontario. So maybe those allergies aren't bothering her as much this week. We will see soon enough. So that's it for me. I did want to talk about how the horses did, but most importantly, the sale coming up next week. Very important that we continue to keep an open line of communication, because this isn't a normal year, is it? So, without further ado, wish you guys a good day and a good night. I hope you had a great weekend, and I hope you have a better week. Take care.